let's come back to the last stage of the prepared speech. It's going to be delivered by TM Rahul Patteri. He is going to deliver his fourth CC4 speech. How to say it? The title of his speech is Chottu.
I sit in my couch, relishing the homemade hot chocolate cream cake, and as I indulge into the first bite, with my eyes closed, I can feel the rich, creamy Swiss dark chocolate, the sweetness of the caramelized sugar. The aroma is exciting my senses now. For waiting no longer, I go on, but suddenly it starts to rain. And there, I wake up from my dream. My mother is infuriated. Chottu, my 5-month-old Labrador, is on my chest, licking my face affectionately. If it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't be able to write my board exams because both my mother and I had slept through the alarm. Cruising my bike, beating the winds of time, I reach my house. 450 kilometers away from my college, unannounced, hoping that I can surprise my family. And there, I see him, waiting for me eagerly, with his eyes fixated to me, as if to say, "What took you so long, brother?" Fellow Toastmasters and guests, Chottu is a dashhound Labrador mix, destined to my family purely by coincidence when he was just 45 days old. Later, he grew up. He became my best buddy. He became a blessing to my family. He is no ordinary canine that you see here. He was a citizen of the house. He had fundamental rights. He used to move free to the nook and corner of the house. He has not been caged, not tethered. He had access to all the furniture in the house except for certain ground rooms, which was no mama papa's bed and no guest room. Growing up, he was a spoiled brat. My mother used to hand feed him. She used to pick him up, recite stories to him before she puts him to bed. It must be this intimacy. He started to learn a language. He knew that my father was the lawmaker, I was the joker, and with my mother, she was his prized possession. He was obsessive, possessive, and never left my mother out of his sight. Basking in the sunlight will be Chottu, with his belly facing the sun and his shoulders moving along, doing his business. And the next instant, I'll see him bolt into the house. I can hear the claws vanishing in the distance. And the next interval, very faintly, I listen to my mom saying, "Chottu, I'm fine, Baba. Thank you." He swaggers back with his head held high, with his eyes fixated to me as if to say, "All is well, mate. Chill." And then he goes back doing his business. When I said he is a true blessing to our family, my father, in one of the late evenings, was in the courtyard watering his plants. Like any other evening, Chottu, usually observant, suddenly went berserk. He ran across to my father, barking ferociously, stopping him from moving forward. With plain intuition, my father shone the torch across, and there was a speckled plant. It was a poisonous snake in our region. For Chottu, my house was his territory. There was no stray animal which could get into his territory without his permission. Talk about being spoiled brat, he was. To me, Chottu was not only my brother. He taught me to believe in myself, encouraged me to embrace trust in people like he did. And he was a living embodiment to say, love passionately without expecting anything in return. That was his love. True, unadulterated, serene. And all that he wanted was the wellness and blissfulness of my family. He kept loving us day in and day out in wellness and sickness, expected nothing in return. On December 5th, 2013, I Skype with my parents. I see him. I tell him of how well a brother he's been to me, how much of a better son he is. I keep telling him of the nice time that I had. I keep praising him. He stops me in between, gives me a bark, looks me at my eyes fixated to say, I have given the best time of my life to see my family out of harm's way. And now it's up to you to take this legacy forward. Take care of my father. And please don't let my mother go out of your sight. Just don't repudiate them for whatever be in this world. Later that night, I get a call on my mobile. It's my mom calling. I knew what was it about. I answer the phone and I get the news. Over to you, Toastmaster.